Hi guys, so today I have a pretty sad video. You can probably tell by the title, but this video is going to be a tribute to my little Marble. Marble did pass away. She passed away unexpectedly about 2 weeks ago, and I am just making the tribute video now because it was a little hard for me to talk about before, but it's become easier to talk about, so I thought I would do a video. I'm basically just going to be going through her life story, or at least the chapters that were with me, just to give you guys a look into what Marble's life was like and who she was as a guinea pig. So yeah, let's get started. I adopted Marble, Cow, and Dot in April of 2012 from a local shelter. If you didn't know, Marble, when I got her, was 2 years old, Dot was 2 years old, and Dot was actually Marble's sister, and they were with Cow, who was their mother, and Cow was 3 years old at the time. I saw their ad online and I instantly fell in love with them, and I convinced my parents that I could take care of them, and I actually was able to get them, which I was so excited about. And it was really funny because the shelter had said Marble was very shy and she kind of just did whatever her sister and her mother did. But when I got her home, it was apparent that she was actually the most dominant guinea pig, and she was the boss of everybody. One big event that happened in 2012 would be when Marble got in a fight with Charlotte. We were actually traveling to my grandparents, and they were in the same carrier, obviously separated since they don't get along. And Charlotte broke through the barrier, and Marble and her both got in a fight, and Marble lost, and it took a hit to her ego, I think. She was pretty shaken up about it, but she did recover fine. Of course, there was also, in December of 2012, the death of Dot, who was a really, really great guinea pig, and also her sister. Cow and Marble both dealt with the death pretty well, but it's actually quite a coincidence. Marble actually died a week before the anniversary of Dot's death. So, yeah. In spring of 2013, they actually gained a new member to their herd, which is actually little Pebbles. And at first, Marble was completely against Pebbles living with them, but she did eventually kind of let Pebbles just live in peace with them, and through the later years, through the later months, now in late 2013, she did start to really love Pebbles. You could catch the two snuggling together, so their relationship really did grow. If you watched update videos on Marble, you would know that she had a piece of hay got into her eye in 2013, and we had to take her to the vet, and I actually was able to get the piece of hay out of her eye, but it did scrape her eye a bit. There wasn't any damage, well, bad damage, and with the drops it was solved completely, and she was always really good with me putting in her drops. And of course there was the coconut head incident too, which I mentioned in my toy safety video. Marble actually got her head stuck in a coconut toy, and we had to cut the coconut off of her head. It's kind of funny when you think about it now, but at the time it was very, very, very scary. So now let's fast forward to November 24th of 2013. This was the day when I noticed Marble was very, very ill. Basically, all of November I was kind of suffering from really bad eczema. I wasn't able to spend as much time as I'd liked with the pet since I couldn't move very well. So my mom was actually really helping me out and cleaning out all the guinea pigs and stuff, and that was the case on November 24th, so I came up pretty late at night. My mom had cleaned them during the afternoon, and I noticed Marble did not want her vegetables at all. She did not want any pellets, she didn't want any water, and she was very lethargic. So I took her out, and I realized that her stomach looked really bloated almost, really big, and her spine was kind of sticking out at the top. It just did not look natural for Marble. It was nothing like she usually looked like. So after doing some research online, I realized that the best diagnosis I could give would be that it was bloat, which was not good news at all, since bloat is one of those things that you have to catch really early, and if you catch it really early, it can usually be solved, but as soon as you let it go and go, the survival rate for the guinea pig just decreases and decreases. So it was really late, and I wasn't able to take her to the vet at that time since obviously was really late and the vets weren't open at all. So I knew that my best bet was to just massage her belly and keep her on something that vibrates for times throughout the night, and hope that she could survive till the morning so I could take her to the vet early in the morning. So I stayed up most of the night massaging her belly, and as her condition worsened during the night and it seemed like I started to bother her and she just wanted to go to sleep, I just ended up putting her back in her cage and letting her sleep with, Cow and Pebbles, her best friends, because I thought that was the best thing I could do for her. Just let her last moments be happy and more comfortable. I knew then, before I went to bed, that she probably wouldn't be alive when I got to see her in the morning, so that was really, really difficult. I had to say my goodbye to her. And on November 25th, when I woke up, she had passed away. She only passed away recently because my mom said she checked on her in the morning and she was still alive, but I guess from that hour or so gap, she had died within then. So, yeah, it was really difficult. I was really, really upset, and it's still a little bit difficult to talk about, especially like the goodbye part, because that was really sad. But the girls seem to be doing pretty good with the passing. Cow not so much. She's becoming really skittish for some reason. I think Marble was kind of like her rock, and Marble just kind of gave her the confidence to be around humans, and now that Marble's gone, she's very, very skittish, and I just have to work on her a bit more and hold her more and get her used to me. Cow is getting pretty old too. She's around, I guess, 4.5. Marble was 3.5 when she passed away, if you were wondering. So Marble's personality was definitely timid, but she was also really sassy. She loved to just teeth chatter all the time. Like, even I've seen guinea pigs, teeth chatter to each other, but even to me, if like I had to pick her up or something, she would definitely let me know if she was unhappy with me, and she would always push me and nudge me. And she was also my little fat, so she did gain a lot of weight. She was quite heavy, and she had like kind of like a smushed face, which made her look really, really, really cute. And she was also the biggest pellet hogger that I've ever met or ever seen in guinea pig terms, because she loved her pellets. She would sit there until all of them were gone. And actually, what was really cute, with any type of little bowl that you'd give her, she would always sit on the edge of it, and she would always tip it over. I have actually a picture where she has treats all over her head, which I'll insert later in this video in the slideshow part. And she is covered in treats because she always tipped everything over by standing on them. And I also remember her always biting on the bars for her veggies. She would continuously, like compulsively, bite on the bars. And it was so annoying at the time, but now I'm finding myself wishing I could have Marble still biting on the bars. So this kind of wraps up the talking part of this video. Now I thought you'd enjoy a little slideshow of some Marble cuteness, some of my favorite photos of her, and yeah.